Hello, welcome back to my lovely YouTube channel. Thank you for returning. I do appreciate it. I really do. We're going to talk about the three gates of Mercury again. We're going to talk about part two of the three gates of Mercury. And here we see right away this person giving kindness to this person who seems quite ill and unhappy. Our friend in red, it's got this lovely bottle of who knows what. Something nice, I hope. And then the satchel. Oh, it's all going on here. Isn't that nice? Looks like an act of kindness, and that's what we want to talk about today, is kindness. We are guarding our speech. We're going to explore the themes that were introduced in part one about guarding our speech. Previously, I introduced austerity, or disciplined use of speech, using my own concept, the three gates of Mercury, as Mercury is a planet associated with communication in the Western esoteric tradition. To practically utilize these three gates and exercise disciplined use of speech, I would ask myself, is what I mean to say all of the following? Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Thereby passing my words through these three gates of Mercury in my mind before I say them. Yes, I fail at this quite a lot. I really do. But the attempt is important. It really is. If this isn't possible, silence is a ready alternative. People say I'm too quiet sometimes, and I am, and now you know why. Trying to keep within those parameters. So in part one we talked about truth. Like, is it true? And we talked about truth, which is a big subject, but for our purposes we talked about it. And then today we're going to talk about kindness. We're going to talk about kindness, the second gate of Mercury. But before we do, I have a little housekeeping, which is part of the reason that I've re-recorded this video, for those who are wondering, all 7 of you. I am moving my available hours for client services. I am shifting my schedule. I know, yet again, but I'm going to open up to, it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Yes, I'm doing weekends. This is just to better serve clients. It's just obvious to me that there's a lot of people that can't, they really want a weekend. Okay, have your weekends. Let's do weekends, man. So it's going to be Friday through Monday. Friday through Monday. First session start times are 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in America land. And then the last start time is going to be 7 p.m. Again, Eastern Standard Time, U.S. America land time. And these sessions go about 2 hours. So starting at 7, we would wind it up at 9. And that's why 7 is my cutoff for start times. Because it gets late and time marches on, and I have aged, and with that somehow comes this crazy wake up with the sun or before kind of thing. That is to say that the later these sessions go, the more tireder I get, and I want to serve you in my best capacity. So again, schedule is shifted. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, starting at 10. Last start time is 7 p.m. all Eastern Standard Time in America land. So that is important enough to put towards the front of the video. And now, hopefully, you've stuck around still, and we can continue with the topic of kindness. And a lot more, as you will see. Okay, so we're trying to pass our speech through, these gates of Mercury. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? And we're going to look at kindness. And let's look at kindness indeed. Is it kind? Is Krishna kind? Oh, yes. Krishna's pure kindness attracts animals, which is true. And here's the AI art to prove it. Gosh, I could say a lot about Krishna, and this is Krishna in Vrindavan before the war, and animals, and even like plants, like all living things are just drawn to Krishna. And Krishna is important to me. It doesn't have to be important to you. I get it, but man, you really can get absorbed in these stories and images of Krishna and tremendous kindness. So I put this here because I want to talk about kindness and contextualize it in this whole Western esoteric doodah. It's great. So first things first, I guess. So our common sense idea of kindness is pretty safe from wholesale redefinition. I'm not going to turn kindness into something else, something weird. You know what kindness is. I know what kindness is. But I think we can better situate it, right? Let's introduce these Western esoteric concepts to situate and expand the idea of kindness a little bit further. I want to look at kindness as a sephira on the tree of life. I also want to look at its shadow aspect, or klipa, on the shadow tree. The shadow tree known as the Sitra Achra. Some people call it all kinds of stuff. It's a tree of death. Oh, super scary. I don't think that's necessary, but, do what you want. I also want to look at its relationship to the other sephira on the tree of life in order to get a more thorough and understanding of kindness and the role it plays in its balance with all of our other potential virtues. Right? Is that a good idea? Whether it is or isn't, that's what we're doing. So let's go look at the Eitz Chaim, the tree of life. This tree of life displays these 10 sephirot, your available powers or virtues, as potentials, right? These 10 sephirot are powers available to you, potential powers available to you. It's a spiritual selfie, this thing. You've probably seen, if you've looked up pictures of the tree of life, you'll see tree of life, and then there's like an outline of a person, It's trying to tell you something. It is indeed trying to tell you something. These sephirot represent powers of God, your available powers or virtues used in the light of consciousness. Yeah, they're God's powers, and they're your powers. They can also be considered as intelligences, operating with some level of autonomy. They do kind of have minds of their own. This is something that takes a while to see, but you'll see it. So yes, we have these 10. They're balls on a tree. It's like Christmas. We have a bunch of them in here. This is the one we're concerned with today. This is the blue one. This is Jupiter. This is loving kindness, also known as chesed. Chesed on the tree. This blue one. It's a lovely thing. It's a wonderful thing. So, the Sitra Achra, right? The scary, scary tree of death. The other side. Sitra Achra means the other side. It's made up of klipot. Instead of sephirot, we have klipot. Shells or husks is a translation of klipot. This is the shadow. These are the shadows. This is your shadow. Full of potentials for mistakes. Not sin. Sin is too heavy a word. You can call it sin if you want to, but Swami Vivekananda warns us it is a sin to call any person a sinner. These klipot represent extreme powers. They are powers used outside of the light of consciousness, serving the desire to receive for oneself alone, which is a very useful Qabalistic definition of evil. People want to talk about evil all the time. That's evil, this is evil, you're evil, so much evil. But I think a good way to situate evil is just to see it as this desire to receive for oneself alone. Highly narcissistic, if you will, very self-centered. It's a pretty decent definition of evil, and it keeps it from metastasizing into super ooper judgment, because it's hard to think straight when you're just disgusted by a person. So let's throttle back. Let's be cool. Let's try to see things for what they are. It's hard. So these intelligences, right? Whether it's the Sitra Achra or the Tree of Life, these balls, the balls, whether we call these balls, these intelligences, planetary energies, Sephirot, Klipot, Archons, Vritis, complexes, neuroses, angels, demons, Devis, Asuras, vibrations, all kinds of ways you can look at it. These are parts of you, and so you operate in this world as like a committee of all this stuff. Yes, various intelligences can clearly have opposing agendas inside you. I find this to be true. For instance, the mind determines to wake up at 3 a.m. for your hustle bra gym time. Like, oh yeah, so hustle. But when the alarm goes off, the body doesn't readily accept this plan. That was the mind's plan. Body's got a different plan. And that is an example given by Swami Sarvapriyananda. I don't want to take credit for that one. So, different intelligences. Now, here is the Tree of Life as used by Golden Dawn traditions. There are different trees. I don't want to lead you astray. This is the Golden Dawn tree. And alongside it, just for comparison's sake, you can see the shadowy companion tree. If you'd like, you can think of these two trees as the classic angel on one shoulder, demon on the other. They're both spiritual self-portraits, if you will. Each Sephirot has its shadowy Klipot companion, as you can see here. Now, yeah, I know you can't read it, but I made another one that you can read. It's further down in this presentation, so don't worry about that. Tree of Life alongside Sitra Achra. Why doesn't this have a linky? Because I had to make this. I had to make it. For you, for me. So, what are we talking about then? We're talking about the blue ball on the nice tree. The Sephirah Chesed. Chesed means loving kindness. Loving kindness. Blue, like Krishna. Ooh. The Sephirah Chesed, loving kindness, on the tree represents your potential for loving kindness or mercy. It's a power available to you, or virtue. It is the blue Sephirah, centered in the right-hand column of mercy. This is the column of mercy, and this is mercy in the column of mercy. Isn't that great? Okay. This is the column of severity over here, and this is the column of balance. So this is, the blue ball over here in the nice column of mercy. It is associated with the planet Jupiter, the planet Tzedek. If you're speaking Hebrew, you can choose to utilize this power of kindness in most any situation. It's always available to you. All this stuff is always available to you. They're yours to command. So, for oversimplicity's sake, let's think of Chesed as your power to say yes, your power of allowing, just as Gevurah, or Mars, would be your power to say no. Let's look at them on the tree again. Here's your yes, Jupiter. Here's your no, Mars. These are the healthy versions of yes and no. Healthy tree, not so healthy tree, healthy. Okay. Now, I love this picture. The Eucharist of Divine Mercy Monstrance, or Monstrance. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm ignorant. But I do like the pic. And my oh my, we got blue over here. We got the red over here, flowing from something that's clearly associated with God, something holy. If it's the Eucharist, is that a Eucharist or is that a Sephiroth? I don't know. I think, is this a storage thing for the cookies? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we got this and the goodness and mercies flowing, and then the healthy boundaries, we'll just call it, are flowing over in here. And you can see, I will pull us back up to this tree, and you will see blue over here, right over here, maybe flowing from here, maybe. I'll take that. That'd be cool. Sure. The geometry seems to work out. All right. Unbalanced and unconscious. These klipa, right? The klipa or shell that represents the shadow of mercy would be called Akshekalo. That's the name. The breakers in pieces. That's the name of the klipa. Akshekalo. This represents your life if anything goes. If you say yes to anything and everything, you allow predatory people into your life unchecked, and you never exercise your Martian power of no to maintain balance. Right? Unbalanced mercy. The Golden Dawn has stuff to say about that. They say it allows evil. So why would we want to even look at these klipa? Why are we doing this? Why are we looking at the shadows? These klipa are considered by some to be nearly unspeakable creatures of evil. Yeah, okay. Understanding the klipa, understanding these demons to some, it really does further your own understanding of the corresponding Sephiroth and yourself. Because remember, this is all resident in you. And that's why I made the following graphic from info in the black brick, because the Golden Dawn rarely spoke of these. Okay, so this is that thing I promised. Doesn't fit on the screen, and for that I apologize. But it's in the article. You go to my blog, check it out. I made it for this presentation so that you could see the words. And here is Akshekalo, right? The breakers in pieces. This is the shadow of loving kindness, of mercy, of Jupiter, of Chesed, right here. And of course, we have, for Mars, we have Golahav, the burners. That's when your no gets out of control. It's the burners. And just for completeness sake, since we're here, we've got Mercury's shadow, Hode's shadow, if you will. Samael, the liar or poison of God. Mercury, associated with communication, right? And Sammy here, Samak Mem, the liar. The poison of God, the poison of you. What's that all about? All right. And then, yeah, I'll try to stay focused, I promise. That's the Stella Matutina's Golden Dawn Klipot. So Stella Matutina being a particular version of the Golden Dawn. And this was what they had to say. So they did not have a handy diagram like this, so I had to make it. So here you go. Right. As this tree of life visually suggests, in order to exercise healthy boundaries, one can balance Mars, Gevara, Ma'adim in Hebrew, it's a planet name, against Jupiter, Hesed, it's the name of the Sephiroth, or Tzedek, which is the name of the planet. So you see, our yes and our no balanced against each other, pretty groovy. Too much unbalanced Jupiterian allowing. No discipline, letting everything go to pieces, not locking your door, being a doormat, agreeing to everything, letting anyone run rampant in your life, all that. You do that without that healthy Martian ability to say no when needed. It will certainly see your life broken to pieces. Ag Shekelo, breakers in pieces. One may also balance Chesed with the more rational, analytical powers of Mercury, right? The Sephiro Hod, this orange ball on our Christmas tree of life, or Kochav in Hebrew. That's the name of the planet. This is in orange on the bottom left of the tree. Orange and blue. What do you know? Complementary colors. Huh. How'd that happen? What's going on? So yeah, orange, blue, or red and blue. These are our balancing forces. Balancing our mercy column with our severity column. Okay, that works. This keeps Jupiterian mercy bounded against its potentially dreamy, soporific, and delusional stupor. And this is practical Kabbalah. This is why, part of why you would care about any of this. If you do indeed care about this. I do. I dig it. All right, picture time. Love the pictures. Mercury and Jupiter hanging, chilling with Bacchus and Philemon by a French painter, Mr. Risto. I don't know how to pronounce French. It's been decades. Sorry. And here we got Jupiter, we got Mercury over here, and they've been invited into the home of Bacchus and Philemon. They're being treated very well. She says, "Hey, I will gladly sacrifice my goose to you to serve you." And the goose thereby takes refuge in Jupiter in kindness as such. But really, I just wanted to pull this up to show Jupiter and Mercury. Maybe anchor something in your mind, because art is good for that. All right, so we have now dimensionalized the healthy, merciful aspects of Chesed by understanding its unconscious Ag Shekelo shadow aspect of too much allowing, breakers in pieces, and also its counterweights on the tree of life, Gevurah and Hod, or Mars and Mercury. If we consciously balance that power of kindness on the tree, we can keep our mercy from slipping into something unhealthy. To put all of this into practice, to make it practical, right? Our speech may absolutely be merciful, yet it need not be a mindless validation of absolutely every delusion under the sun. You don't have to agree to everything. You don't have to say, yes, your crazy ideas are totally true. Or someone wants to suck you into something goofy. You can say no, right? You can say no. Otherwise, the breakers in pieces await, and with them subsequent ruin. It's bad. If you let your speech flow forth from loving kindness, right? That chesed power, that blue ball on the tree, that power that's available to you, without reinforcing delusion, yours or someone else's, you can't go far wrong. You really can't. If that's not possible, the fourth power of the Sphinx of silence is always a great alternative. And ooh, what a picture. Love it. The Sphinx. Catman. Or lady. Or was a cat and then it got its face hacked off. I don't know. But it's a great pic. Yeah, fourth power of the Sphinx. Silence. It's a power. Okay, so what thoughts or feelings arise when you consider these subjects? Do you have any epiphanies? Do you have any realizations? Do you have any objections? Please have your say in the comments. Please remember that I have changed my office hours. I believe I'll be putting that information in the show notes, as they call it, or just the YouTube video description. Just so you know. And with that, I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching this video. You are awesome. Hearts and flowers. Okay, bye.